Now let's start creating the column and the seal handles there. So I'm going to start that by creating a cylinder, and I'm going to move it up, and let's decrease the radius. Let's go to the front view to match, and I think it's pretty good. Something like that. Now let's go to the height and change that, and I'm going to add a little bit of subdivisions there. You don't have to do that, but anyway, we need to move that up, and let's go to the front view and move it there, and let's hit 4 on the keyboard, and let's increase the height, something like that, and let's increase it. So great. So now let's right click and choose vertices, and I'm going to scale that a little bit to make it rounded at the upper area. So now let's create the seal handles there. You can create it in several ways. You can create a cylinder and then bend that, or you can move the vertices to match the shape, but I'm going to show you another way. So let's go ahead to the create and then curve tools, and then I'm going to click on EP curve, and then I'm going to the front view, and I'm going to create the line there and hit enter on the keyboard. And now I'm going to create a circle curve. The circle is here. So now we need to select the circle and then shift and select the line, and then I'm going to surfaces, and you see here we have the extrude. So I'm going to click on the option box, and I'm going to edit and reset the settings, and I'm going to check the add path to match the polygons at the path and the component too, and I'm going to change that to polygons because I need to output a polygon. And I'm going to scroll down, and I need to change tessellation to control point. I'm going to explain what this does in a moment. So if I click apply, so what the control point does, this is going to create a line on every point on the curve. So now let's say I want to decrease the size. I can simply select the circle, and I'm going to change the size, as you see, something like that. And let's go to the front view to see it. Let's decrease the size. It's great. So now let's go to the, let's smooth that, and we can select the curve, and let's right click and choose control point and hit 4 on the keyboard, and I'm going to change the vertices a little bit to make it smoother. Okay, so now because we have a history between the curve we created and the line, we need to delete the history. So I need to select that, and I'm going to edit and delete by type and history. And now doesn't matter if you delete the curve or move it or scale it, this is not going to do anything. So now we can simply delete them and delete the curve too, because we don't need that. We have one problem. We have a hole here, so we can close that by selecting the geometry, and then I'm going to mesh, and I'm going to click on fill hole. So as you see, I filled that. If I hit 3 on the keyboard, we have nice line there. So now we can simply just hit Ctrl and D on the keyboard to duplicate that, and I'm going to move it down. And as you see, the center is not, the pivot is not at the center, so I'm going to modify and then center pivot. So now the pivot is at the center. So I can simply rotate that like that, and we can simply just scale it down. Or we can go to the front view and match the shape here. So we can scale it down a little bit more, and we can move the vertices. We can rotate them to match the shape. So let's go there and let's move this up and to the right, something like that. Okay, and let's move them to the front, and let's select that and smooth it.